Hi guys, it's Ease here. So today I'm here with another decent deck profile, and this time we're covering the new story kill right line, which is Argo Siren Calliopeia. So, I think she is actually the second right line that actually utilize set orders. The first one are Maelstrom, and we do have like Leonorns and Night Rose actually using the generic set orders, but it's not exactly for the own archetype. So it's a very interesting card that we actually get to play set orders with instead of just using normal orders or blitz orders. Um, and surprisingly, this deck is actually quite strong after like a few games of testing that I actually went and I actually faced against this deck as well. So other people play the deck as well, which surprisingly is not bad at all. And it's a very good deck. But you do need to gather a lot of pieces to complete your combos. So it's not easy win, but it's a very good deck that if you're completely new to Zoikia or maybe even to Vanguard, it could be a good option for you to enter as long as you did a little bit of practice, learn about how the card works, then everything will be fine. So let's talk about her skill first, which have a continuous skill during your turn if your binding zone has one or more different tiding cards, which is the set orders. This unit will get plus 5k, and if you have two or more different tiding cards, all of your friend will get 5k instead of just herself. So your target is to bind two types of different tiding cards to get your front row to plus 5k all the time during a turn, and use that as an advantage to do multiple attacks. And which means the tiding cards is very important. And her second skill, which is discard a card from hand, just a tiding card from a drop and put it into your order zone. So it allows you to recycle the set orders in your drop zone and reset them on the field. But then you might ask, why should we just keep setting the set orders? And how are we actually binding them? Right? So when this unit attacks the Vanguard, you can counterblast one, choose a tiding card from your order zone and bind it. And then if your opponent is Great Field higher, you can also on top Energy Blast 3 and choose two tiding cards instead of one. So if you are going second, you have the chance to bind two tiding cards all together to get the plus 5k to the front row effect immediately. But if you're going first, then you have to do it basically one by one, or do one and then do two the next turn. Right? So this is how you get your tiding orders to the bind zone. And by doing so, the tiding cards will give you different effects, which we will be talking about those very soon. After we go through the right deck and go into the main deck. Now, the right line itself is basically just reveal the grade 3 and search for the tiding card. It's just that simple. And so far, I'm not utilizing any cards that are going to be using those. So you won't be using the restanding effect of this, and you won't be getting the boost from her. But if you want to do it, you can try to use orders like the resentments and stuff, spiritual body condensation, all these kind of things that you can bring them back and reuse them. Some people actually slot in a lot more of her while you're doing like multiple attacks, because you will be restanding your regards and you can actually restanding her with the regard that you stand as well. But that also costs you a soul blast. It's not easy. So depending on how you manage your souls, it might be a very tough skill to resolve for you. So for me, for example, I do blast a lot of my souls. So it's not something that I have in mind to put more of the great ones in there to restand. Right, going through the main deck. Now first we have more of Vanguard for sure. because we do need souls, we do need the personalized power buff. The front row 5k is definitely not enough. We do need a lot more power. The more we get, the stronger we get as well. Just that simple. And then next is our key cards, which is a Stunning Wave Dragon as a 4-off and 3 of the Inner Pulse. Now, the reason why I'm running those for a few things. One, this deck heavily rely on good tier dragons. So we actually need to use something that is very good in value, which Inner Pulse is well known for being a very generic tier dragon cards as long as you start doing more than 3 attacks, right? As soon as you do 4 more attacks, at the end of the turn you put this card in your soul and draw 1. So it disappears itself. So you can dodge like the lyrical boss to lock you. You can dodge a lot of retiring, binding effects, and turn it into your draw. And also you have another soul for you to do things. But with Stunning Wave Dragon, why I'm putting more instead of using Inner Pulse is for the following skills. Now, when this unit is placed on Vanguard Circle from deck or hand, which if you use the order is from deck, if you normally play is from hand. And if your Vanguard is Argo Siren in its card name, this unit will get plus 5k until end of turn, and you can cast +1 or energy +3 to draw a card. So instead of drawing cards in the end phase with the Inner Pulse, you can draw cards immediately with Stunning Wave Dragon on place, which is very, very good. Because even if you just play from hand, you can just kind of +1 or energy +3 to draw a card. And this is going to help you a lot to find your other pieces, to find your orders, to find your personal ride, or even just getting shields, right? But you do need to remember that no matter is the counter blast cost or the energy blast cost, is completely competing against your Vanguard skill. So do make sure you carefully check your energies and your counter blast before you decide what to do. Even before playing this out. Because once you place it down, you have to choose you activate the skill or not. The 5k is given to you, but then the draw could be important to you. But if you draw and you can do your combos, that will be more of a tragedy if you use your resources before your Vanguard goes into using the skill and then find out you don't have the resources. So do be careful about that. Once you get this cleared, usually you're fine, right? And a once per turn skill, when this unit attacks, you may have this unit to get plus 5k at the end of turn. If you do, at the end of the turn, retire this unit. So it pops himself as well. More importantly is to use both skills. You're already plus 10k to yourself, so it's a 23k. And then if you are plus 5k to the front row, it's hitting for 28, which is key numbers. And if you personalize 38, which is even better, right? So this card is definitely one of the key in your deck and something that you will always want to call up from hand or directly call from the deck to keep reusing, right? And because he draw you cards in your main phase, meaning you can have more chances to get to your pieces and then use Inner Pulse to trying to draw into shields. So it's a very, very important card. And next, I'm running the old ride card series Margaret. So Margaret is a Soul Blast. Go to the bottom of the deck and draw 1 and get to stun your opponents if you person, right? Which is one reason why I'm using Margaret instead of the Brave Shooter. Because the shooter is actually costing you energy or counter blast, which is again like these two. They are already competing the usage on your counter blast and energy blast already. I don't want to use anything that on top hurting us more. And because I'm not like exactly going to reborn these cards or anything, so it's okay to just simply soul blast them up for another draw, right? And the stunning paralyze could be very helpful in a very late game or when you see something that you really want to like paralyze it. So it's there, but so far I'm only using it as a drawing source. So don't expect too much on the other skill, but I think the draw is quite important, and soul blasting is not going to hurt us anymore when we have inner pulse, and when we get our personalized going, everything should be fine. But a little bit spoiling, to play your tiling cards with the set orders, you do need to soul blast one if you are not using effects to put down the field, so do be careful about that. But other than that, I think you should be fine using 4 of these to gain more draws. Right. Next, I'm running 2 of the boar briney dragon. So this is also direct support for Argo Siren, and it's a tier dragon that you can call with the skills. It has another skill from drop zone. When a tiling card is put into the order zone, if you do not have a regard with the same name of this card, you can count last one and call it to regard circle. So you can reborn, and you can keep reusing it. And when this unit is placed on regard circle, you can put a tiling card from the bind zone to the drop zone, and this card gets plus 10k until your turn. So you get to recycle the set orders that you bind. But do remember, if you, for example, if you have 2 types of the tiling cards, 1 of each, and when you bring this out, there's a skill to put 1 of them to the drop zone. You don't have 2 different names of tiling cards in your bind zone, you will only be getting the 5k for herself, not for the front row. Do remember about that. But then this card allows you to recycle those tiling cards, and once they get into the drop zone, your Vanguard can pick them up again, and you can bind them again. Because not only keeping the tiling cards in your bind zone is important, getting them on place is also going to help you out a lot with their skills, because you need to actually bind your set orders to apply extra effects, which is directly linking to how you win games. The reason I'm using a little bit less, because this card doesn't actually draw you cards compared to these ones, but it can reborn himself, so it's still a good thing. And the reason I'm not running too much is in case there is the meta where lyrical is the mainstream, that if this card stays on the front row, it will get locked and you will not have a lot of attacks going on. So that's the reason why I'm not like fully maxing out this card. But if I find space, or where the matter is not that much of a concern that being locked, then I probably will slightly increase a little bit more, because it is a card that you can simply just ditch for your right cause, or just simply call on grade 2 to attack and then use it for intercept or whatever, then reborn it, right? So even if it common, is still a very, very good card, and I strongly recommend you at least put 1 in and give it a try. And then we're running 4 of the Argo Siren Signal. So Signal is a card that helps you search for a hunting card from deck or drop and put it to your hand, so you can immediately reuse them, which directly filling your deck, and then you're also using your orders to fill your deck to finding the tier dragons. That is kind of like the Moon Gate, where you're trying to squeeze quality cards from deck to your hand, so what's left will likely be a lot more triggers, so you will be easier to triggering. So I think that's the main idea. And this card, if your opponent's Vanguard is gravely higher and a tiling card was put into orders on this turn, this card will get plus 5k. So just constantly playing your tiling cards every single turn, make it a 30k attacker, 30k booster, whatever you want it to be, and then use it to boost or even use it to attack, and it's still a good thing, right? So even just these combos, they can do a 23k attack, which is not that bad. So I'm running 4 because the set orders is so important, even though we get 2, but we still need more and more and more to actually do constant combos every single turn. That's why I'm running 4. And then I'm running 1 mushrooms and 2 cats. as a backup because I soul blast so much, so my whole right line will basically go into the drop zone so easily. So I can fully utilize the cat 2 times. That's why I'm using the cat for mainly for the defensive, but if I really need the soul, I can still call it down for the soul charge. And mushroom is a backup plan if I need to do a little bit of early rush. If I somehow need one soul to do my thing, then mushroom is there that I can just put it in the soul and generate 2 plant tokens, because I don't run a lot of actual booster, because for my great one I'm adding it with the PGs already. So like these are basically my booster, these are basically my shields, so these can at least turn into 2 5Ks boost, where these ones already at their 13s, so plus 5 is 18, and then you just keep plussing the 10s on with 28, 38, because key numbers, right? So just by having the plant tokens there is going to help a little bit more and allows you to actually focus more on the grade 2 and grade 3s, so you can just focus on the main attackers, and then if you see extra boost, then you just use it. And then what's left is the orders. Now I'm running 3 of the grade 3, which is the Kanos Arcos and Kianos Arcos, and the great one is Catharos All Day, which I'm not sure how they pronounce, but yeah, so far that's how I think it is. With the grade 3 and also the great one, in order to play that, you need to soul blast 1 and have a Vanguard with Argo Siren its card name, which you will be, so that doesn't matter. But again, the soul blast is actually very cost heavy in a way, while we are also using these, so do make sure you look at the souls. But I still think the draw power is important, and we have ways to put it back from the drop zone with your Vanguard skill by discarding a card, so it's not too hard to place them to the order zone without actually playing the order, right? So that's why this deck is actually that good. If you can start squeezing things out and manage your drop, manage your hand, then you will be fine. Now with the grade 3 order, when this card is on place to the order zone, search your deck for up to 1 tier dragon card to the real circle and shuffle the deck. So you can immediately call one of these out directly from the deck instead of looking for top whatever. You look for the whole deck and find it. So you will find your target, and depending on what you have in your hand, you can just grab the other one, right? Simple. And then if this card is bound by from the order zone by the ability of your grade 3 or Vanguard with Argo Siren is the card name, and if your opponent is grade 3 or higher, transfer a Vanguard and get the following skill at the end of the battle this unit attacks. If this unit did not stand by a card ability this turn, stat this unit and increase or decrease the unit strike to 1 at your turn for the rest of the turn. So you're basically getting a restand drive -1 skill, but then it writes to 1 in case you use E-rendering souls to +1 drive, I guess, because you can just use that, increase your Vanguard drive by discarding one of these as a cost, and then discard another card and grab this back up to do your plays, right? So I think it's kind of avoiding that, so cutting the drive directly to 1, but having 3 drives, 2 attack Vanguards, good, right? We love resetting Vanguards, so this is definitely going to make the deck strong, right? And your opponent cannot simply just take your Vanguard hit because they don't know what's coming next. But even if they guard for it, you can still put it on the Vanguard while you restand, attack again while your reguards are still standing. That can change a lot of things if you're running front triggers. And then for the great ones, if it's on place to the order zone, now this time is look at top 7 and choose up to 1 card from amount and review it. Put this card in your hand if it's a tiding card, so one of these, and put the card to the Riga circle if it's a unit with Argo Siren's card name and grade less than or equal to your Vanguard and shuffle the deck. So it's basically grab one of these orders or call one of these, which I think is not that bad, even though you can't call these ones unfortunately, but you have these to directly call the Tidal Dragons out, so I guess it's fine. But your only target will be these. You do have a chance to see these, but you probably won't be calling those. So the main reason for using this is for the next skill and to try to search for more tiding cards, get them to your hand, squeeze your deck as much as possible so you can see your triggers. Now if this card is bumped from the order zone by your grade 3 Argo Siren cards, Vanguard, then you can choose one of the regards and stand it. So this happens when you bind, and this happens after the battle ends. So when you use your Vanguard skill to bind one of each, you can choose one of those to apply, but after both resolves, you first restanding your regards and do your drive check, and after the battle ends, you stand your Vanguard and you can do the attack again. So you're constantly doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 attacks once your opponent is grade 3 or hard. And even if you want to, on your first grade 3 turn, you can still bind this, because if you bind this while your opponent is not grade 3, it's not going to work anyway. And if your opponent is grade 3, you will bind both anyway. So this will be a card that you will bind if you can only bind one. So you can at least still do 4 attacks, so your inner pulse can just leave, right? Which I think is still great. So don't hesitate to just bind one if you see 4 attacks is actually getting better, especially when you do have an inner pulse on board. You'd rather do the 4 attacks, get another draw, and then next turn trying to find another one and go for it with the grade 3. Right? And then I'm using the Sky Order for extra draw power, and because I just simply so easy to soul blast a lot of my stuff, so it's quite easy to get another copy of my Vanguard to your drop zone so that I can use it for a bigger shield. Basically just that. And another reason I'm using this is because more times I'm using the chance that I can play orders into playing set orders. So if I'm playing a normal order, will mean there are chances that I need to rely on my Vanguard skill to put one up, but then I actually need 2, right? If that's the case, that means I'm stuck with that normal order, and that's not what I want. So I'm going for this package for the extra defense, draw with this package, and then trying to not interfere myself playing the set orders during my main phase. Yeah, so that's basically the idea. And ending the triggers very simple. Stoic OT, because I do want aggression, and then crits I'm running a total of 8 again for the aggression. Soaring crit I think is quite important because you do need to soul blast quite a bit. Also I'm using the soul in front for the extra soul if I need to, and then for normal heals to just end it up. Yeah, so first impression with the deck, so again, okay, it's still, well, they are girls, but the runner itself might not be as good as I want it to be. But when I actually play the deck, it's actually a lot better than I thought. It is good going both first and second, but of course if you're going second, that means you have a lot of draw power by going second to draw, by starting to use these cards to draw a lot more cards to get your energy quicker, so that you can use your Stunning Wave Dragon to draw a lot more cards. So yeah, if you are asking which going first or second, I would say first, of course it depends on your opponent's deck type. If it's something that you can just stay on grade 2 for a turn while opponent is grade 3, I think it's fine. But if it's not, if they can completely kill you during their first grade 3 turn, then I'd rather going on to the grade 3 first to give them a big swing, or even just simple 4 attack swings to just drop their resources down and then take 1 hit, and if the next turn trying to get them off, right? So it depends on the situation, but most times we'll be going second. But if you want aggression, totally can go for first, and it won't hurt you too much, except that you are kind of losing the free energy by going second, so making your draws a little bit tough to choose whether do you want the free energy blast or using the counter blast. Yeah. So yeah, overall I like this deck very much, and hopefully we can get more Titan cards very soon, or anything that supports, because usually we should get like a promo support after a little bit of time. So looking forward to that. Maybe we will get a grade 2 Titan cards where it's going to make the deck a lot stronger, maybe, but we will see. And yeah, I think that's all I need to talk about this deck. If you have any questions, as usual, leave them in the comments down below. So let me know what you think. Also, like other cards that you have been using, feel free to let me know. Subscribe for more deck profiles, unboxing, deck fight videos. Yeah, I think that's it for today. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you guys in the next video. Signing off.